week I've decided to do a video where I go through 5 different quick and easy high protein breakfast ideas, because I feel like breakfast is a meal that a lot of people struggle with in terms of protein. I think it's quite easy to kind of like have like chicken or something at lunchtime and at tea time, but when it comes to breakfast, like a lot of people get a bit stuck, they're not sure what to have, and obviously having a nice high protein breakfast in the morning sets you up for the day and it gives you a good kickstart on hitting your protein target as well. I've got 5 different breakfast ideas that I'm going to take you through. I personally prefer to have a sweet breakfast rather than a savoury breakfast, so 4 out of 5 of the breakfast ideas are sweet, but I have included one savoury version as well for anyone that doesn't really have that much of a sweet tooth and prefers something savoury in the morning. So yeah, 5 high protein breakfast ideas. Like I said, they're all really quick and easy, because I know that most of the time people tend to be rushing around trying to get ready for work and stuff, so nice and quick and easy, and they all have at least 20 grams of protein in them as well. So I'm going to start off with probably the quickest and the easiest of the 5 ideas. For this one, you're only going to need 3 different ingredients. So basically, you're going to start off with some cereal. As you can see, I'm using the mini Weetabix chocolate chip, but you could literally use any cereal that you want. I'm just weighing it out. I normally go for about 50 grams because I feel like that's sort of like the right portion for me. And then over the top, rather than just having plain normal milk, I'm going to make a protein shake. So I'm just using almond milk. I'll measure out roughly about 250 mils. And then I'm going to mix that with some protein. I use the My Protein chocolate brownie flavour, but again you could use any flavour that you want. I just find that this works really well with this cereal. And then I'm just going to pop 1 scoop into the milk and give it a good mix so that it's all mixed through. And then you're literally just going to pour that over the top of the cereal like you would with normal milk. Obviously it's pretty simple, pretty basic, but it does the job and it's really high in protein as well. Sticking with a sort of cereal theme, we're going to make some protein oats next. So again, you're just going to need the 3 ingredients. You're going to start off by weighing out your oats. I normally go for about 50 grams again because I feel like that's just a nice portion for me. And then I like to make mine with water, so you're just going to cover the oats with water. I don't measure exactly how much, but you just kind of want enough just to cover the oats. You can make them with milk as well if you prefer, and then just heat them over a medium heat. Just keep stirring until they go nice and thick. For protein, I again use the chocolate brownie flavour from My Protein, and I like to add 1.5 scoops into my protein just so that it's nice and chocolatey. You're just going to mix that in, mix it through, make sure that it's really well mixed, and then you're going to transfer it to a bowl. And then for toppings, it's obviously completely up to you what you want to go for, but at the moment I've really been enjoying having Biscoff spread with the chocolate protein powder. I feel like it goes really well. It needs to be the crunchy stuff though, because then you get like little biscuity bits through the oats, and oh my god, it is just so good. So I just add a teaspoon of Biscoff to the top of the protein and then mix it all in so that it's all nice and gooey and biscuity and chocolatey, and oh my god, this is literally my current favourite breakfast. I absolutely love it. Moving on to the savoury one next. Again, it is just 3 ingredients that you need, so it's eggs, ham and cheese, and we're going to make some little like egg savoury muffin type things. So I'm going to make 4 muffins for the video, so I'm cracking 4 eggs into a bowl. Obviously you can kind of just choose how many you want based on how many muffins that you want to make, and then you're just going to season with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then you're just going to add a dash of milk in as well and mix it all together, just like you would if you were making like scrambled eggs or an omelette or something like that. And then you're going to take some ham, and I'm going to use 3 slices to the 4 eggs, and then just rip it up kind of into smallish chunks and add it to the egg mixture. And once you've added all the ham, I'm just going to take some cheese. I would normally use cheddar for this, but I didn't have any, so I had to use Parmesan instead. So I just sprinkled some into the mixture. I didn't really measure it, but it's kind of up to you depending how cheesy you like it. And then you're just gonna mix all that together. Then you're gonna take a muffin tin and grease it. I just sprayed some fry light into the little holes that I was gonna use. And then you're just gonna spoon the mixture into muffin tray. And then it's ready to go in the oven. You're just gonna bake it at 180 for about 20 minutes. And then voila! This is what they turn out looking like. They smell so good. You can eat them hot or cold, so it's really handy just to have nice and quick in the morning when you're on your way to work. And obviously you could use different ingredients as well. It doesn't have to be ham and cheese. You could do cheese and tomato or spinach and mushroom or whatever takes your fancy. Next up, we've got everybody's favourite protein pancakes. These are definitely a bit more of a weekend breakfast because they do take a little bit longer to make. So you're going to need 80 grams of self-raising flour, 1 scoop of vanilla protein powder, half a teaspoon of baking powder, and roughly around 140 grams of milk. And that's all you're going to need. You're just going to mix it all together. The mixture does end up being like quite thick, so don't worry about that. That's how it should be. Nice and thick and creamy. Now you're just going to heat a frying pan over a medium heat, and you're just going to spoon the mixture in, cooking for a couple of minutes on both sides. Like I said, just over a medium heat so that the middle cooks before the outside burns. I forgot to mention I used the My Protein powder in this one as well, but this time the vanilla flavour, but you could use any flavour that you want. I just think vanilla is nice and simple. So these are what they look like. Wait until the little bubbles start to form, and then you're going to flip them over. And you just want to cook them until they are golden on both sides. This mixture usually makes about 7 kind of medium-sized pancakes, and you're just going to stack them up and then choose toppings of your choice. I didn't have enough time to decorate these all nicely, so I thought I would just kind of give you some ideas and share some pictures of previous pancakes that I've made. So first up, we have got a strawberry and chocolate syrup stack. So I just used frozen raspberries as the sauce, just melted them in the microwave, and then I added some strawberries, coconut, chocolate and some sugar-free syrup. Next up, we have got some chocolate pancakes. So I used chocolate protein powder for these rather than vanilla, and I topped that with peanut butter, bananas and a Fibre One brownie. Next up is probably my favourite stack, Biscoff. You cannot go wrong with a bit of Biscoff. So I just topped these with some Biscoff spread, some bananas, frozen raspberries and a Biscoff biscuit. And then last but not least, we have kind of got just a plain chocolate stack. So I topped these with chocolate spread, banana and a cream egg because I made these around about Easter time. So these are just like some kind of basic ideas for you to go from, but like I said, you can use any toppings that you want really. And last but not least, we have got a protein smoothie. These are obviously really quick and easy, but they're also a really good way of helping you get your fruit and veg in if that's something that you struggle with. So for this one, I just add a couple of handfuls of ice. I always like to add ice to my smoothies because it makes them nice and cold obviously, but it just adds a little bit of thickness to the smoothie as well, so it makes me like a little bit fuller, if that makes sense. And then I add a frozen banana. Again, it has to be frozen because it makes it a lot thicker and creamier and just kind of adds a little bit of substance to the smoothie. Then I'm going to add some spinach. I just add a couple of handfuls, and don't be put off by this. I used to always think that having spinach in smoothies was disgusting, but you honestly cannot taste it. It just kind of tastes like chocolate by the time you get all the other ingredients in, and obviously it's just, like I said, a nice easy way of helping you to get your fruit and veg in. And then I add some almond milk. Again, you can use any type of milk that you want, but I just use almond milk. I don't measure it, but I usually just pour it so that it's sort of halfway up. Obviously you can alter that depending how thick or how runny you want your smoothie. Then I add my protein powder. Again, it's just the My Protein chocolate brownie flavour. I add 1.5 scoops into the smoothie. just because it makes it like nice and chocolatey and obviously boost your protein content as well. So 1.5 scoops. Obviously you can use any flavour, but I just think the chocolate works really well with this smoothie. And then I add peanut butter. I use crunchy stuff, but it doesn't really matter. You can use smooth stuff if you prefer. And I just add 1 teaspoon of that on the top. And then the final ingredient, I use these Flav drops from My Protein. This is the butter biscuit flavour, and these kind of taste a little bit like Biscoff. So it just kind of helps to really sweeten the smoothie up and give it a little bit of a Biscoff flavour, which is always nice. And then you're literally just gonna blend it up until everything's kind of mixed and everything is blended. It tastes so chocolatey, so nice, and packed with protein as well. So those are the 5 main breakfast ideas that I'm going to share with you today, but I did just want to add a couple of little extras on at the end. These are more like on the go breakfast that you don't need to like cook. It's literally just there, nice and easy, nice and simple. So the first one is yogurts. I think a lot of people tend to forget about yogurts when it comes to protein, but a lot of them do have a really high protein content. So this one here, this is the one that I normally get. It's the Skier light and free yogurt in the raspberry flavour, and as you can see it's got 14 grams of protein per pot, and it's only 84 calories as well. But also just kind of like plain Greek yogurt tends to be quite high in protein. So again, if you just kind of wanted to mix that with like some berries and some fruit and some honey, it's a really nice light breakfast to have in the morning, and it's also kind of perfect for summer as well. Then last but not least, we have got protein bars. I'm not really sure if you can consider these as a breakfast food because it is essentially chocolate, but I thought I would include them anyways. I mean, it is a pretty obvious one, but I thought why not? So these are just some of my favourite ones here. We've got the crispy layered bar from My Protein, the Grenade carb killer in the dark chocolate and raspberry flavour, and the My Protein chocolate hazelnut wafer. I mean, obviously not your kind of conventional breakfast food, but it is just a really quick and easy option. My Protein also do some that are called oat bakes, which kind of are a bit more kind of breakfasty. They're kind of like the Belvita soft bakes, if you've had those before. They're basically just like a kind of chewy oaty biscuit. They do a chocolate chip flavour and a cranberry and white chocolate, or is it just berry and white chocolate? I'm not too sure, but the berry and white chocolate one is really, really good, and I feel like that's just kind of a bit more breakfasty because it's like an oaty biscuit. I'll pop a picture of them on the screen here so that you know what I'm talking about as well. But yeah, those are all of my quick and easy high protein breakfast ideas. I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope that you got some ideas for yourself. Let me know if you try out any of these recipes and how you get on making them, how they turned out and stuff, because I would love to know if anyone does make them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.